Hey everyone, I hope you're doing well. Today, the day you're watching this video, is Wednesday, April 29th, and today we are starting a new play, so that's exciting. I am working through grading your Midsummer Night's Dreams paper. So I am looking forward to continuing reading those, but today we are going to be starting a new play, and it is called Macbeth. So hopefully several of you have at least heard of Macbeth. It's one of Shakespeare's most famous plays, and it's one of my personal favorites of his. Next year, junior year, you guys will read one other Shakespeare work, and that is Hamlet. So in my opinion, Macbeth and Hamlet are two of the best plays that he ever wrote. And starting with Macbeth, one of the things I would have you guys do if we were in class is consider the phrase, greed is the root of all evil. So take a second and think about that. Greed is the root of all evil. So typically that phrase is actually attributed to Macbeth, and you'll see over the course of reading it why it is attributed to this play. And so I'm excited for you to read it. It is, I think, one of the more fun and captivating plays. So keep that in mind as we read. Greed is the root of all evil. We're going to be looking at themes like ambition and when can ambition be a good thing? When can it actually be a negative thing? We're going to look at how it affects Macbeth personally, how we can apply it to real world characters later on in the unit. So I'm really excited to get started. And so this is the first thing that you guys should be doing on the daily agendas is watching this video, which is great. It says watch this video introducing Macbeth, and also I'm going to introduce something called quizzers. So quizzers are something you will have the privilege of doing next year, junior year, when you read A Tale of Two Cities. But quizzers are basically daily check-in quizzes to make sure you are doing the reading and actually paying close attention while you do it. And so I've been doing these quizzers online with my juniors currently. Right now, fourth quarter is when juniors read A Tale of Two Cities. And so the way I'm doing them online with this virtual remote learning is with a website called FlexiQuiz. And FlexiQuiz is Flexi quiz. And it's been super great. The juniors have had absolutely no problem with it. It's easy. Basically what's going to happen is I'm going to give you guys a link on the daily agendas, and it'll say like, for instance, Friday. On Friday, May 1st, this week, you guys are going to read Act 2 of Macbeth. Today, your goal is to read and annotate Act 1. Friday, you'll read Act 2. Then after you read Act 2, you'll take a really brief quizzer. And so the quizzer, it is timed. It's online on FlexiQuiz. So the daily agendas will say something to the effect of, take this quizzer on FlexiQuiz on Act 2 of Macbeth. And it'll say, use this link. So you'll hit the hyperlink just as you always do with anything that's linked on the daily agendas. It'll take you to FlexiQuiz. It will ask you to sign in. So all you have to do is give me your first and last name and email address. And then as soon as you click start on the quizzer, it will begin. And so with my juniors right now, their quizzers are three short answer questions, and they have 4 minutes to fill it in. And so the way the quizzers work, you don't have to write in complete sentences. You just have to give me the answer. And granted, it's timed. You only have 4 minutes. So that means you need to have read closely, because you're not going to have time to flip through the book to try and figure out what the answer is. You're going to have to know. So that is just going to keep you accountable. It'll also give you some additional points in that category in Bear Across, so should actually help your grade, assuming you're reading, which honestly the majority of you do. So it should help your grade going in there, just give you a couple more grades in the grade book, but they'll essentially be daily quizzers. I am currently not planning to give you one for every single act, I don't think, but most of them, so like you won't have a quizzer for Act 1, but most of the other acts you will have a quizzer online. So just wanted to go ahead and share with you that that is something you'll be doing on Friday. Again, it's super straightforward. You click on the link, you type in your name and email address, you have 4 minutes, you enter in the responses, and that's it. It's really quite easy. So I am having you guys do that with Macbeth instead of A Midsummer Night's Dream because A, this remote learning is new and it took me a little while to find a platform to do that with my juniors. And B, I just thought it would be helpful to continue to incentivize you to finish the school year strong. So that is my introduction of those two things in terms of the play itself. I guess that wasn't really an introduction of Macbeth, but just letting you know that's what we are reading, and then introducing the quizzers. And so today what I'd like you to do, your assignment for class today, is to read Act 1 of Macbeth. Now, if you look in your copy of Macbeth, again, you might have a different copy than I do. Most of the copies, depending on which one you have, most of the copies have summaries at the beginning. So again, depending on what copy of A Midsummer Night's Dream you had, you either did or did not have summaries at the beginning. I think, if I'm correct, somebody can tell me if I'm wrong. You can email me or something, but I'm pretty positive all of the Macbeth books, whether you have this copy or the green copy, I'm pretty sure all of them have the summaries. I really hope I'm not wrong. Send me an email if I'm wrong, because we can also try and find a PDF that's more similar to this version if you would really like it. But as you're reading, continue to pay attention to the footnotes, to the different numbers on the side that tell you about foreign words, unusual phrases, etc. Right, everything on the left-hand side of the page. Make sure you're reading those as you go. And so today you will read the entire Act 1. And you'll notice Scene 1 starts on page 7. It's one page, so that's nice, right? It starts off nice and short. And you start off meeting 3 different witches. And so the one word, the term I want to throw out with Act 1 before you begin reading is the term paradox. I'll talk about this a little bit more in my analysis of Act 1 on Friday. But the term paradox, you hopefully have heard, and you will see an example of a paradox in Act 1, Scene 1, when the witches say fair is foul and foul is fair. And so we'll talk more about that on Friday, but just wanted to throw that term out there. Macbeth is when I teach the word paradox, if you've never heard it before. So if you don't know what it is, you might want to go ahead and just look it up while you read Act 1 today, and then I'll analyze it and talk about it on Friday. But if you're not familiar with it, it might help you understand what the witches are actually saying in Scene 1 of Act 1.